What's the signal?
Screaming.
Reacher Season 4 starts quick, fast, and in a hurry, releasing the first 3 episodes. One of the things they've done that I really appreciate is they changed up the pacing. The novel Gone Tomorrow that this season is based on starts fast on the subway, and then it slows way down, and there are parts in there that really are longer than they need to be, and the show trims those down to move things along a lot quicker, and I think it's working really, really well. And really what I'm thinking about there is when Officer Merrick and Detective Green and Reacher are in the cages. So, book spoilers. In the book, Reacher gets out pretty much the same way. They've been in the cages longer. Like, he gets tranquilized a few times in the book. And so finally, when he does escape, he goes to he walks to Home Depot and buys a crowbar and uses that to kind of pry the cages up and then lifts them up enough for them to squeeze out from under the cages. It's a feat of superhuman strength. I think what they did in the show with the car jack works way better, bending the bars and letting the officer and the detective squeak through that way. I think it works way, way better. And the escape from the CIA facility takes much longer in the novel than it does in the show. They've added a ton. It's probably 30% new. The Reds are a completely new antagonist group that was not in the books at all. That's adding like another level of misdirection that I think is working pretty well. Because like in the book, I had figured out who the overall bad guy was probably 200 pages in. But if I was coming into this fresh, there's enough misdirection here that I'm like, all right, I'm not sure I'm not sure who the villain is in this thing. They've changed enough through the first 3 episodes that I'm not sure the villain from the book is going to be the villain in the show. So there are some cosmetic changes they made, like they've switched the book Gone Tomorrow takes place primarily in New York. This is in Philadelphia. But beyond that, like I said, they've added the Reds. They added some different story beats. Most of them work pretty well, like the altercation in the library basement. That contributed. You know, they've got evidence now that they can take from that scene and maybe start to put things together a little bit. That was not in the book at all. But the fight in Anna Merrick's house was not in the book at all. And that scene really kind of fails because they fight this guy. He's wearing a tank top, slacks, and he's got a gun. Who is that guy? They fight him off, they knock him out, they subdue him, and then they don't question him and they never talk about it again. That's pretty messy writing, I think. And then also that scene in the hotel between Reacher and Lila, that's another addition that wasn't in the book. And I don't know, that scene, I don't know whether it was the way it was written or the way it was directed or the way it's performed, but just the dialogue in that scene did not feel natural. I think they've done a great job at adapting this book and updating it and changing enough of it that even though I've read the book, I feel like I'm watching a different story. And I'm really enjoying it. There's a couple of things in there, mainly the guy in the house. Like that was just sloppy. The fact that they didn't talk to him at all. These people are supposed to be police officers. One of them's a detective, and she asked no questions. There's some other new stuff in there as well. The reporter, Russell Plum, not in the book at all. The OnlyFans model, not in the book at all. That scene on the bed where she's been opened up, that's totally new for the show. And the last thing I want to talk about is how episode 3 ends with Samson's chief of staff. That is super different from the book. I have no idea what direction they're going to go. So there's a ton of new misdirection in the show that just wasn't there in the book that's making this a very satisfying adaptation. I'm really enjoying it. I want to know what you think, so let's talk about it down in the comments. Have you read the book? Are the differences, are you okay with those? Are you enjoying it, that it is that different? And if you haven't read the book, what do you think of the first 3 episodes? I'm dying to talk about it. I need somebody to talk about it with, so let's converse. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by dropping a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. Geek on.